It's the live sit and talk with Matthew Bat Rep.
Hey everybody, this is Matthew from MiniWarGaming.com. Welcome to another live sit and talk. And no, my last name is not Bat Rep. Bat Rep means Battle Report. And I will keep saying that until there is nobody to ever post a comment saying, "What? Your last name isn't Bat Rep?" That's what I thought all along. And yes, I accidentally had to unmute myself, or I accidentally muted myself, so I apologize for the no sound there right before the show began. But yes, refresh. You're not going to be seeing me say this, but refresh if you're not seeing the video right now. We actually have a bit of a schedule today. Like, I actually have stuff prepared, which is ironic because the original thing that I was going to do changed just 20 minutes ago. Because what we were going to be doing is Dave and I, we're going to be playing Dreadball live. And that would be fun, trust me, especially with Dave, because he goes crazy and has a lot of fun. But he had a battle report scheduled this morning, and the guy didn't show up until half an hour ago, because it turns out he was coming from Sudbury, which is a few hours away. He ran into traffic, and he was actually held up for that many hours, like 5 extra hours. So we didn't even know. And so we just showed up, and we're like, oh, we better do the battle report. So he's off playing a battle report with our brand new camera, which I can't show you because, well, he's using it. But we will be showing you in a video probably tomorrow. Not made with the brand new camera, obviously, because that would be kind of hard. But yes, I do have a schedule. Let me quickly go through the things I want to talk about. First, I want to give you a quick update on the Indiegogo fundraiser, as well as some of the shiny new toys we have. I did show some of this stuff, if not all of it, in the video, in the update for the Indiegogo campaign yesterday, but I want to show you guys live and answer any questions that you might have about it. Second, I want to talk about Infinity, including some exclusive previews. That's right, when I say exclusive, I'm not saying exclusive like some other places say exclusive when everybody else actually has it. I mean, I actually have a preview of a new model coming out that nobody else has been given the rights to show yet, except for MiniWarGaming. And I want to talk about Infinity in general, and I want to do a bit of an unboxing as well. We'll talk about what this is, but it has to do with Infinity. And then I want to talk about Star Wars X-Wing, particularly their new models. And then I'm going to open up to a Q&A for whatever time we have left. Because, heck, Q&A is a lot of fun. So, let's get started first with the equipment update. So, if you didn't yet know, we passed our $17,000 mark on the Indiegogo campaign. First off, thank you to all the people who have contributed. Whether you contributed by actually giving us money, or by sharing the campaign on Facebook, or talking about it on forums, however you decided to help us, thank you very much. It's not done yet. It's only been going for a week and a half. This coming Monday, it'll have been gone for 2 weeks, so I think we have like 20 days left or somewhere around there. And our new goal is $20,000. And at $20,000, we are going to hire Adam from Greenleaf Terrain to come in and make a spectacularly awesome 6x4 Warhammer 40K board. And not just like, here's a brown board with some grass and some trees and hills. We're talking like, it'll be a more specialized board, so it'll be more eye candy. Because that's what you guys want. You've told us that you want better terrain in our battle report, so we need that. It'll have a little less, it'll have a disadvantage of not being able to be used as often because it'll be more specialized. But as we add more and more of these tables, we can have more really awesome terrain in our battle reports. And then we have another stretch goal after that of $22,000, where he will come back and then make a 4x4 awesome War Machine table. So that's the next 2 stretch goals. At the $17,000 mark, I said that I would turn our studio into a live studio, which we've already started to work on. I haven't bought the computer yet. That's going to be the last thing I do, because I want to make sure I research everything properly and get all the proper components. So once again, thank you to everybody who has contributed. I want to show you a bit of what we're going to be using, so you guys can see before we actually do it. I showed this. Let me just unplug this so you can see it. I was going to be using this during this live show, but since we only have one person with a microphone, we didn't need it. This is a mixer. Let me just make sure we're on camera here. Yes, look at that. Does that look fancy or what? So this mixer, what this is going to allow us to do is, well, have more than one person mic'd at the same time. Now, in a live show like this, where I'm just sitting in front of the computer with the webcam, I can just have one microphone. This microphone goes into my USB thingy, and the USB thingy goes into the computer, and that gives me one microphone, no problem, right? But what happens when you want to have 2 people with a microphone, or 3, or 4? I do plan, with my new live sit and talks, once the new studio is done, is at least every other week, to be playing board games with other people. Well, in that case, you're going to want them all to have microphones, but you can't have all these different microphones running to the computer, at least not easily. There are ways to do that. So we bought this, and this is pretty awesome. It looks complicated, but it's actually quite simple. It's just that these dials are repeated. Like they all do the same thing. You just plug in your mics, so this can support up to 6 mics plus some other stuff too, which we won't use. And then we can deal with the bass and the low, mid, and high ranges. We can amplify it. We can add special effects to it, which we probably never use. We can balance it from left to right, which we'll never use as well. And then, of course, volume and mute. Mostly we'll just kind of set the volume to where we want it. We might have to adjust it slightly according to who is talking. Some people are louder than others. And then you plug all these in, and then there's a USB thing that comes out of it, and that goes into your computer. And to your computer, it's just one microphone. And this thing does all of the mixing. And it's really awesome. We've already tested it. It works super easy. What we're going to be using it with, for the most part, are our Sennheisers. These things. This is a Sennheiser receiver, wireless receiver, and then it has its component part, which is the transmitter. So this goes to the lapel mic right here. So you'd clip this on, and then this one will get linked up to a receiver, and this receiver then goes to the microphone jack output, and that'll go right in here, just like that. And all of a sudden we have sound coming in that one. And then for each person that's mic'd, there will be a receiver plugged into here. So this will kind of like all be lined up on some little shelf thing right by the computer. And that'll allow us to mic up to 6 people at the same time, which will be more than enough for a long time to come. In fact, once you have that many people, you start using other things like boom mics. So this should actually be sufficient forever, at least until better technology then exists. So first off, I want to open up, is there any questions about this in particular? I don't want to answer questions about other things, but if you have questions about the fundraiser or about our equipment, we bought a new camera. We got the XA10. It's in, but Dave is using it in his banter bat rep, which he's doing right now. I was going to show it during the show, but like I said, he is now playing. And so that's awesome. So I'll make sure everything looks good here. Yes, okay. All right, so questions. Podcast, Miso asks. Well, the live shows are really podcasts. I realize that they're not audio, but that's what we're going to be doing. Miso has a fundraiser question about the table. That's fine. I'll read down there. Crolinks, please tell me someone is helping you learn how to use that with your PC inputs. Well, I actually know a lot how to use it already, but I don't know what you're referring to, Crolinks. Hammer 210, can you use them for independent recordings, like using wireless mics in 2 bat reps? Well, you wouldn't use the mixer. The mixer just mixes them together. But yeah, each person doing a bat rep has these wireless stuff plugged into the camera, but that's something different. So Miso, Matt, could you only do 1 table and maybe put the next lot of money towards painting new armies? Bespoke tables look nice, but often aren't good to play on, and expensive at $2,000. Think of the opportunity cost. That's several armies you could get. We're getting new armies anyways. Remember that this fundraiser isn't the only way that we get money. We also have Vault members who are paying. Like, we have our regular business too. And so we are going to be working on getting more armies painted. So, Punisher 1, what are you guys going to do with the equipment that's being replaced? We're not sure yet. We still are testing out the new camera, but if it does work out, we're going to be getting like 4 or 5 more to replace all of our current cameras. What are we going to do with those? I don't know yet. They're not that expensive, and they're all about a year or 2 old now, so they're not worth very much. But we might still use them for the odd thing, but I don't know. Pilkey, CRC, will you be doing a series of making of videos of any terrain made? Yes, definitely. It'll be Adam from Greenleaf Terrain. He has his own YouTube channel, so he'll definitely be wanting to make videos of it. Gloomed Ready, is the mixer edible? I don't know, but it sure looks tasty. Okay. Vichy Swas, how much was the mixer? Actually, surprisingly, not that expensive. It was $280. I know that's not cheap, but for all the audio equipment we've been buying, that's pretty cheap. Each of the Sennheiser wireless mics are $800. I could have got one that was $50 cheaper that had 4 mic inputs instead of 6. And I was like, well, we'll probably never use more than 4, but there's going to be that one time that'll just be really annoying that we don't have it. So I decided to spend $50 more. Kui Diek DK, I don't know how to say that. Man, I think it would be cool if the table was in a dense urban setting, maybe with sewer systems, etc., in high buildings. Well, the 40K table we plan on so far is going to have a canal down the middle. It's going to be some Gothic cathedral stuff. It's going to have ruins. It's going to be pretty cool. Creed 3266, would you do Battle Brothers with it? Not sure what you mean by that. Hammer 210, just mixing both players in the same bat rep 1 and both players in bat rep 2. Still not sure what you're asking. Fishy Swass, sign them and eBay them. I don't know. It's always nice to have backup cameras, even if they're not as good. So I might keep them for that. Crowlinks, are you listening to the headphone jack to mix the audio and get the levels adjusted before you start recording on a PC? I do this for my church, and the days that the recordings sound bad are when I can't equalize it before starting to record the service. Everything sounds very wonky and off. Yeah, definitely. The plans I eventually have, ideally, once we have the money and the manpower for this, is while we're doing a live show, there'd be a guy sitting at the computer that you don't even see on screen, and he'll be doing the mixing of the audio. So yeah, he'll have headphones on. He'll be doing the mixing of the video as well, because we plan on having multiple cameras for our live shows, so he can switch between things or switch between showing pictures of things that we call up. So that's the idea. Now, I don't know if we'll have that right away, but we'll definitely do our best to get everything mixed properly before the shows. All right. Pygmalion, at this point in time, and I know you've spoken about this pseudo-formally before, can you define the styles of shows you do now, banter, beat map, lore, etc., and any you plan to try out, Beasts of War host, co-host show? Well, I'll obviously continue doing the styles of shows that we do now, which is the battle reports are obviously our backbone, and then we add on the extra fun ones like the Life of a Wargamer, Ask a Wargamer. We have the painting and terrain tutorials. Those are mostly in the vault, but we do have those as well. And then we have the support shows for the battle report, such as the post games and the rules you get wrong. As for new shows, well, we're going to be covering more games, so we're going to continue doing more battle reports, just covering more games. But I do hope in the live shows to start having some fun with that as well. So I can't tell you exactly, because it's more going to be like morphing what we're already doing to do it even better. So I'm going to be trying to improve our battle reports to make them better with the new equipment and just putting more time into all the post-processing as well. So we'll see. Okay. Punisher 1 says, I asked since I'd be interested in getting one of your camcorders. I understand. Rinnell Meat 0666 says, any idea what the next set of stretch goals are going to be after the $22,000 mark? Honestly, we didn't think that we would get that far, so we don't quite know. There are some ideas, like the one idea that I can't remember who just said it, that we should get painted armies. That's a really good one. Now, we are kind of focusing on the studio end of things. So the terrain makes sense, but I guess painted armies make sense for the studio as well because that's part of our show, right? So I don't know. I'm not quite sure yet. We do want to redo the floors in there as well. That's not something that you're going to see very much on camera, so I don't know if that's very exciting to put as a stretch goal. But the floors right now are just crap. It's all commercial grade carpeting. That's about 5 years old now, and that's the store. That's what the store used to be, and so lots of foot traffic, and so it's all torn up and it looks really bad. We'd like to redo that. That'll cost at least a couple $1,000s, depending on how we do it. So that might be it. We've already got the lighting goal, so we're working on the lighting right now. We just talked to the electrician. He's going to be coming in next week to add in all the extra lighting. Papa Smurf is putting up the curtains right as we speak. We still have to do the decorations, but that's all covered. So I don't know yet. We'll have to kind of... I've been taking a lot of advice from, or the feedback from people who post comments. The perks that we've added actually have been ideas from people posting comments. So if you have any really cool ideas, let me know. Fishy Swat says, oh, I was expecting it to be in the thousands. Yeah, me too. When I went to get a mixer, I'm like, okay, my budget is like $500 to $1,000. That's what I want. So when I found out I could get one of these for like $280, that's awesome. So yeah, especially because I'm spending so much money on all the other stuff. Shaskor, when do you expect the studio to be finished? I would give it another 2 or 3 weeks at least, just because it's going to take time, obviously. Like the painting it took like a week and a half just to get the painting done. That was just to paint the walls and the trim. That takes a while for just one person. Papa Smurf did most of it. And yeah, we still have the lighting to finish, all the decorations to do. I would say 3 weeks. So basically when the campaign finishes, maybe like a week after that, we will be wrapping it all up. So, any other things? Crowlink says, ah, okay, sounds like a good plan. Sorry for the questions. I'm just kind of an audiophile and want to see you guys do well. I agree. Your questions are great. Audio to me, and this is a piece of advice for anybody wanting to do videos, audio is more important than video. It's true. Because if your audio is not good, no matter how high quality your camera is, you could have a $1 million bajillion camera that does 10 million frames per second with super high definition, 1 million p, and yeah, it could do all of that. And if your audio sucks, you'll look unprofessional. So audio is actually something we've always wanted to work on. We've had a Sennheiser mic for the past 5 years. It was one of the first things we bought early on because we knew how important audio was. We actually sluggishly upgrade our cameras, but we quickly upgrade our audio. So I definitely want to make sure the audio is good. That's why we have condenser mics for our recordings. Like, we don't hold out on audio. It's actually we spend more money on the audio equipment than we do on the video equipment, typically. Fabian, Matt, any plan for we few Gold Vault Lifetime members? You give away the silver as a perk, but there are some of us who paid for Gold Lifetime. Yeah, Gold Vault membership is not going away. Okay, by next week, we will be announcing what the gold members will be getting instead of a discount at our store. And in my opinion, it is better than what you're currently getting. So don't worry. Any other questions about the fundraiser? Okay, there's been tons of comments, so I'm just going to skip through. So I apologize. I see everybody's chatting about some other stuff too. So I'm going to move on. So thank you for your questions about that. So that is our equipment update. Oh, one more piece of equipment I want to show you. This is really neat. So, hold on, before I show you, I'm going to take it apart. So when I bought the latest Sennheiser G3 system, that's our wireless system. Come on. Ah, wow. Oh, did I just tighten it? I think I tightened it rather than loosened it. Whoops. So when I bought it, it was actually a special... Come on. Am I tightening it or loosening it? Oh, I see. Unfix. Tighten it again. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, seems really strange. Why is this not coming off? Is there a button? Ow! Oh, that actually hurt. Ow. Why was that so hard? Okay. So anyways, when I bought the latest wireless microphone system, there was... that actually hurt my arm. Wow. There was I lost my train of thought because how hard it was. There was a bonus, and that was this. This is just a regular microphone. This might not look special, and I thought, well, that's great. So whatever. Well, we can buy a cord and plug it in, and so that we can handhold it. And what really worked well with is this came with the new XA10. This goes on the top of the XA10 camera. I'll grab one of our old cameras to kind of show you how it works. This doesn't work on this one, but it basically plugs in like this, and it gives you 2 microphone inputs into the camera, which is really nice. So I thought, well, with this, you get a long cord, and you plug it into that, and then you're able to walk around at like conventions and stuff, like Gen Con, and be able to interview people with an actual microphone. I'm not sure how many of you have seen our past Games Day coverage stuff where Dave walks around with like a remote control we found in the hotel room. We returned with our wireless mics taped to it, and now we have this. So I thought that was pretty cool. But then I got this in the package too, and I was like, "What is this?" And I figured out what it is. It's another transmitter. So what happens is you take this, and you plug this in, you tighten it, which I'll do later, and now it is a wireless mic. So maybe we'll put like a MiniWarGaming cube thing around here. But now it's wireless, so you don't have to drag a cord around. Isn't that cool? And that transmits to the same receivers that the other ones do. So that's the other kind of cool piece of equipment that we have. So this would allow us to have one microphone input, and then this thing can be passed around to whoever's talking. So pretty neat. I'm pretty excited about it. If you can't tell, I'm pretty excited about all this stuff. It's like new toys every day. I know we play all the time with new toys, but this is different. This is pretty cool. Okay, so enough of the equipment update. Chapel X111 or 13 says, I'm envious as I used to be a sound tech guy. I understand why you'd be envious. Pygmalion says, turning an ordinary household microphone into an Auspex. What is an Auspex? I'm going to Google that. Auspex. Auspex. Definition of Auspex, an augur of ancient Rome. Wikipedia, where are you, my friend? Auspice, an American software company, Auspex. Yeah. The Free Dictionary. So an Auspex is an augur of ancient Rome, especially one who interpreted omens. So how is this an Auspex? I must have missed something. Does it mean something else? You probably responded already. Auspex, Auspex, Auspex. Space Marine Auspex. What's a Space Marine Auspex? Space Marine Auspex. Show me a picture. Search. Oh, drop frames detected. Am I dropping frames still? Am I going all... Okay, I'm worried now. Somebody must be uploading somewhere. Okay. Do I look like I'm choppy at all? Is everything looking good? Sounding good? Because it's saying I'm dropping a few frames. Are we still here? Did I lose my internet? Can anybody see this? If you can, reply in the chat. I think I lost internet. No, I have internet. What's going on? Sorry, people. If you're actually seeing this, let me know in the chat. You're back. Where did I go? We are seeing it. Okay. So did I disappear there? I actually have no idea what just happened. Scale viewport 90% so I can see how many frames it dropped. Yeah, weird. I just dropped. Yes, I went for 45 seconds. I have no idea. What the heck? I have no idea what happened. I apologize. It's like my internet disappeared but came back. But usually if that happens, I have to restart the stream. So, yes. Stream just dropped. All right. I don't know what happened. Don't worry, I have a local recording, so you're actually in the recording. You can just see me going, what? What's going on? What's going on? Why does it say, what's going on? What's going on? But oh well. Life goes on, and I am back, and I'm no longer going to look up a definition of Auspex because I'm just bored of it. So, let's move on. We're already at 324, so we need to show you the other stuff. Time for Infinity. Infinity. You know what I mean. So, let me give you a bit of backstory here first. Ever since we shut down the store and realized, hey, we don't have to just do the games that we have in our store, we can do whatever games we want. We had our poll and we found out which games people wanted us to play. One of those games was Infinity. Also, the other games were things like X-Wing, Dreadball was in there too, but so we've already started those. And so we want to start Infinity soon. I say soon because obviously we're super busy right now and we need to get some painted armies all done up and everything else like that. And so I contacted Corvus Belli. Is that how you say their name? Corvus Belli? Corvus Belli? I think that's how you say it. Corvus Belli, who are the creators of Infinity. And I said, hey, we want to cover Infinity. Are you guys willing to work with us for that? Because that would be cool. And they replied and said, yes, we are. And I think that's super awesome. I think every company, including Games Workshop and Privateer Press, should be willing to do that. I'm not sure if Privateer Press does it. I know they're obviously a bigger company, and so they had to make sure they do it right. But they're willing to work with us. So here's what they are willing to do with us. First off, they're sending us exclusive previews every month or so of new miniatures. And so you don't see them anywhere else except here at MiniWarGaming. I'm going to show you one of them right here on this live show. And we'll be putting out a video about it next week as well. And they'll eventually announce it. The one we're going to show you comes out June 15th. So it's kind of cool. They do that with Beasts of War as well. So some of the previews that Beasts of War give are exclusive to them. So I think that's a neat way to kind of start. As long as you don't have too many people you're working with. Otherwise, you'll run out of things to give them. And so I'm going to show you that. And they also agreed to send me a few starter armies. We'll have to paint them up, obviously. But we already have that worked out. Or we are working that out. And so we'll soon have some armies to play Infinity with. And then we'll start covering that game slowly at first, and then maybe more as it gets more popular. So here we are. Let's show you Oh, we got a lot of people on right now. Great. So let's show you the preview for Infinity. Oh, there we go. Had to rev up my hard drive. I hate that it slows down your hard drive. So the model I want to show you is the Sakiel Regiment. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I seem uneducated in this. It is because I am. I don't know much about Infinity. I know the basic idea behind it, not the fluff, but the game itself. Just I've watched videos about it and all that, but I am a noob when it comes to Infinity. So feel free to laugh at me as I pronounce things wrong. And yeah, anyways. So this is the model, the Sakiel Regiment Spitfire thingy that I'm going to show you about. And I'm going to read you some stuff that they sent me as well about him. So first off, this is the miniature that belongs to the Toha army, if I'm pronouncing that right. If it was Tongan, that would be Toha'a, but I don't think that's what they intended. It'll be officially published by the end of this month on their website, but it'll probably hit stores around June 15th. So this version has the most effective weapon, the Spitfire. This was already a release there was already a release Sakiel in the Toha starter pack, but the miniature was this miniature was sculpted by Jose Luis Roig, I think is how you say, and painted by Angel Giraldez. So let me show you a few different pictures with this. So I'm just going to kind of cycle through these so you can see them. I did a fantastic paint job on this, by the way, which is obviously very important for showing off your miniatures. It's almost more important than the sculpt itself. Just because you can have a good sculpt, but if it's painted poorly, not impressive. And they got some cool terrain there. That's also important for showing off your model. So you can see them in all sorts of different places here. Oh, white background one. We didn't need to see that one. Let's get that one back. There we go. Get rid of the white background one. Okay. So a bit of the fluff here. Varso Battlespeak notation, it says, given the relevance of number 3 in the Toha culture, all numbers that are multiples of 3 are reserved for designated prestigious multi-purpose units. Those notable for their mobile and adaptive qualities. Number 36, or Sakiel, if I'm saying that right, refers to endeavor and stubbornness in the face of an enemy or a particular type of opposition. So that's the kind of the cool fluff there. So yeah, it's pretty neat stuff. Kind of go through those a few more times, just so you can see them. And yeah. So, pretty cool, eh? Cool for two reasons. One, because it's a cool looking miniature. Yeah. And Marty Boy says, the game system and rules are great. Bit of a steep learning curve, but once you get the hang of it. I noticed that I did read over the rules a while back because I was interested in it. When I was developing Dark Potential, I was reading rule systems all over the place to get inspiration. And I remember reading it thinking, whew, seems complicated. But then I watched a couple of videos of it, and I think that once it's one of those games where it's hard to read the rules, but once you play it, then it's pretty straightforward. Yeah. And I like the fact that they kind of have like their action and reaction. So when you do an action, your opponent gets to react to it. So it's not like you go and then they go. It's the active player's turn and the passive player's turn. So it's really neat. That's kind of one of their taglines, I think. It says it's always your turn. So which is cool. It's a cool mechanic. It's good for small skirmish games, obviously. So yeah, that's the preview for the Infinity model. I have other information about it, but we'll release a video next week with more details of all of that. Probably with Papa Smurf doing the narration because he's pretty awesome at that. So, having said that, it's time for an Infinity unboxing. I actually don't even know what's in here. I know there's Infinity models, but I don't know specifically. So you get to see me open it. Let me just make sure the camera's in a good spot. Good enough. All right, so. Around the mountain. I'm in around the mountain. Come on. I'm in around the mountain. Here it comes. Where is a knife when I need one? You think I would have a knife? I don't. The remainder of this video is going to be me opening this box. One of you is waiting for me to slice my finger. I know it. Maybe more than one of you is waiting. It's not going to happen. I'm done. There, see? Unboxed. All right, we're done. So, I hope that you enjoyed that unboxing. Ha, just joking. Just joking. Beat Mat unboxing. Yes, it's a great idea, Doofy Dobie. Okay, so what do we have in here? First off, we have this guy. So this is a Dragoes Acontecimiento Dragoons. It's Pan-Oceana. Pan-Oceana. Right, that's the name of the faction. Sorry, there's a picture of it on the back. Oh, there we go. Okay. Then it's not dragon, it's a dragoon. Dragoes. Anyway. Then we got a Pan-Oceana support pack. So that comes with the trauma docs and the mechanus. So yeah. There we go. Then we've got a shock army of Acontecimiento. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. Pan-Oceania. Oceania. I really got to learn how to say it. Sectorial starter pack. And you can I can say whatever I want right now because I don't know it. Myrmidons. I can say Myrmidons. They look pretty cool, actually. Their models look sweet. You cannot complain about their models. They are all metal, as far as I understand, but I don't think that's too big a deal. Then we got all sorts of other stuff. We've got a Myrmidon officer. We've got more Myrmidons, or another Myrmidon. Another Myrmidon. Myrmidons. We got a Guarda de El Salto. Did they send me all the Spanish ones, or are they always in Spanish? Because I know they're from Spain. We got a Penthesilia, Amazon Warrioress, monofilament close combat weapon. Monofilament close combat weapon. That's pretty crazy. You know what monofilament is? It's where it's like the blade is like one molecule wide. So it's like super sharp. Phoenix, veteran Myrmidon officer, heavy rocket launcher. And Ajax the Great. So he's got like some sort of big, huge warhammer kind of thing. 2 combi rifles and a big close combat weapon. There you go. And then looks like I got something taped here. MiniWarGaming, Sekio Reg. Oh, this is the model I just showed you. I didn't realize they were sending it to me. That's pretty cool. I actually get to get the model. That's pretty neat. It's right there. I got their preview model before anybody else. That actually makes me feel special, I have to say. Good job, Corvus Belli. And then they sent me a ton of quick start rules. Pretty neat. And looks like some posters, which is great because we need something to decorate our walls with. So yeah. Da-da-da. Cool. I actually am looking forward to playing this game. I'm not a big fan of learning new rules. But once I learn them, I love new games. It's funny that I say that because I'm usually the one that learns new rules and then teaches everybody else. It's nice every once in a while to have somebody to teach you the game, though. So that's what we'll do. We're going to do Infinity Battle Reports, and once we have a good grasp of the game, we'll even do some how-to-play videos. Because every game needs a how-to-play video series. And if it's not made by the creators of the game, then it needs to be made by somebody else. I know that Corvus Belli actually created a series of how to play Infinity, but we like to make our own too. So, yes, the Draconic Lord, I answered your question before I saw your question. Yes, we are getting Infinity Bat Reps. Definitely. I'm excited for it. Basically, that'll probably be the last game we cover for a little while, because we'll have Dreadball, X-Wing, and Infinity as new games. So we'll probably take a few months of just really covering those. and then we'll kind of go from there. I have a funny feeling X-Wing's not going to be around forever. It will be around forever, but we're probably not going to cover it like as much as we are right now. Although we haven't put it in for about a week. Gotta get some more in. But I think it's going to die off in maybe 6 months to a year. So yeah, aesthetics. You getting lots of feedback? What are you getting feedback? Okay, everybody, I see. You have feedback. Tell me when it stops doing feedback. Oh, static. Did I bump something? Hold on, let me check a few connections. You still getting it? It's gone, basically gone. Improved, gone. All better? Like completely fixed it? I must have just bumped the cord. That happens. Okay. It's the connector plug to the mic. Here, I'm going to disappear for a second, sound-wise. Is that gone now? Gone? Fixed? Almost there? No, clean. Good enough. All right. Sorry about that. I must have bumped it. My office is kind of a mess right now because I've been getting all this stuff and trying to figure out organization. Thanks. Okay, so that was Infinity stuff. Now I want to show you, you might have seen this already, this is not exclusive to us whatsoever, and Fantasy Flight is not affiliated with us whatsoever, so unlike Corvus Belli, they did not reply to my email saying, do you want to support us, but I understand if they don't. I'm not thinking that they don't support their fans or anything like that. But new X-Wing models coming out soon. And I'm excited for this because, well, these models are cool. And so we got 4 new ones. We've got, starting on the right-hand side, we got the B-Wing. Then we got the TIE Bomber. Then we got the Imperial Shuttle. And then we've got one that I don't remember the name of. It's the... I don't remember. Whatever. I think it's Kyle Katarn, if that sounds right. Yeah, that's right. I do recognize it now. Yeah, I do. So I knew that they kind of had to throw in a 4th ship there just to balance it out. So it wouldn't be fair if the Imperial got 2 and the Rebels only got 1. But yes, so there we are. So we've got these 4. Let me show you the cards that they published. So this is all published on the Fantasy Flight website. They announced this a few days ago. And it was pretty predictable that the first 3 that I talked about were coming out because, at least for me, the TIE Bomber and the B-Wing were pretty obvious because they're the only real ships not yet published. I didn't know they do the shuttle, but that makes sense to do that one. So you have some neat stuff there. So if we go through these, we've got the TIE Bomber. So you can see the TIE Bomber has a lot of hull points. So it's a bit of a tank. But really what it is, it's a weapon carrier. As you can see by the card at the bottom there, that it can carry 2 proton torpedoes, 2 missiles, and a bomb. And so it's tons of firepower, but it's going to be susceptible to critical hits because it doesn't have any shields. It is able to evade, though, which is... oh, sorry, that's a barrel roll. It's not able to evade. So this thing's going to have to be protected pretty well because it only has 2 agility. So this one's going to be tough. This one's going to be tough to do right. There'll probably be some upgrade cards that'll really help it. But in general, the missiles and proton torpedoes were not really the best thing that the game had to offer. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out, especially because they announced that there's going to be a new proton weapon, which is like the proton bomb. And apparently the proton bomb causes a critical hit to everybody within a certain distance, which is awesome. Because regardless of whether they have shields or not, because critical hits are awesome. But yeah, if you bring in one of these and then protect it with something else, obviously that would be really good. So that's interesting. I'm curious to see how that's going to go. Then we've got Captain Kagi, or whatever it is. This is the Lambda-class shuttle. And that action in the middle, when an enemy ship acquires a target lock, it must lock onto your ship if able. That's just specific to this guy in particular. But you can see it's got a lot of hit points and shields, so it's a bit of a tank. It's got 2 pilots, or sorry, not 2 pilots, like 2 gunners, and then some special weapons on it as well. And it doesn't have much agility, but it's got a good firepower. So overall, it's interesting. We'll see what kind of upgrades they include with it to make it interesting. So then we've got the Blue Squadron pilot, or the B-Wing. And this one's another tank. I like the fact that it has lots of shields because it means it's less susceptible to critical hits. because the critical hits will just get absorbed by the shields. And it barrel rolls, so there's an actual rebel side one that barrel rolls. And it's kind of like the TIE Bomber, but not. It's like a light TIE Bomber when it comes to weaponry, although you can see there that it can carry 2 proton torpedoes or proton weapons, and then it has a heavy weapon as well. So it'll be a good fighter as well. But unlike the TIE Bomber, it has shields. Now it does have less agility, but it also its primary weapons are useful too. So it'll be interesting to see how that one works out. I can see it being good. And then finally we have Kyle Katarn and his Hawk 290, if that's what it's called. And that one, it's got a lot of hull, 4 hull and 1 shield. It has really crappy weapons, but you can give it a heavy weapon. So I think that's the idea, is that you give it like the heavy lasers. And then it's able to have a gunner and a pilot upgrade as well. But its agility is pretty low. So we'll see with this one if it's any good. I'm sure it'll have its niche. So anyway, so those are the new X-Wing ships that are coming out. I'm pretty stoked to get those. Don't know what they're going to do next though. Like they could, I know they just released like those card-based terrain things. But it would be interesting if they use like card-based large capital ships just to kind of get those in there. It's going to be tough though because I don't know. I think the longevity of this is not going to be there, but it is really cool how it is right now. So I do really like this game. Yeah, as somebody said here, Red Dragon says, if Fantasy Flight ever gets anything in stock. Yeah, they're having major stock issues, which shows that it's popular, but can also really kill it faster than it's going to kill itself by running out of ships to do. Because people will only wait so long before they lose interest. And it's been a while. I placed a couple orders like a month or 2 ago when I first heard about it, and I'm still waiting on those. And nobody has it. So I understand supply issues completely. But yeah. It's like War Machine when they had their supply issues. It actually kept people from getting into the game for a long time. Once they got all that in place, they exploded. But this one, unfortunately, won't have that longevity like War Machine does because they've only got so much to release. They get all that excitement, and then they're done. Unless they get the licenses for the other Star Wars movies as well. So. Okay, just seeing if there's any questions about this. Okay, we're not in a general Q&A yet, so I'm not going to answer questions that are off topic. But yeah, that's the X-Wing stuff. So now it's time for
Q&A.
And now we are in a general Q&A. So for the last 15 minutes of the show, I'm just going to answer whatever questions you like. I am going to switch the chat to slow mode, so you can only post, I think, every 30 to 60 seconds. So make sure your posts count. And I will just answer whatever questions I feel like it. The Bloody Gamer says, "Hi, Matt. Congratulations on doing so well in your campaign. Thank you to Maker Studio. You are doing a fantastic job, and I look forward to see you rival the Beasts of War team." Well, thanks. "Is it possible for you to do a themed Warhammer week? I remember Dave mentioned it during the Ask a Wargamer, but it never amounted to anything." We do want to do themed weeks once we're more organized. Right now, we're just trying to get lots of videos out, and you're going to see us kind of establish more of a pattern over the next few months, and then it might include doing weeks, but I can't say yet. And Mystics lets me know it's 90 seconds on slow mode, so when you post a comment, you have to wait 90 seconds to post again. Lord Draven says, "I'm more than a bit late for the show. I apologize. It starts at 3 every Thursday." So, Storm of Swords, Matt, any plans of anyone at MiniWarGaming gathering up a fantasy army of Demons of Chaos? No plans. Just picked up that codex and I'm looking to play it, but found no bat wraps on the MiniWarGaming site. Unfortunately, there's no plans. It doesn't mean nobody will. It just means there's no plans. Abizu, when will you see the first Crix bat rep? You're asking about that from me. I actually played them the other day and I lost the footage. When am I playing a War Machine game? Probably next week. I'll be playing a War Machine game, so you might see it in the next couple weeks. I've been busy trying to get all this equipment working, so I didn't actually do any battle reports this week. So, let me get the chat back up so I can answer more questions. Close. The Houndmaster, will we ever see more of Dave's Warriors of Chaos Army? I'd love to see his progress. I would not count on it unless somebody else is using them. He's just so busy with playing other games. Fabian, did anyone spam call you after Dave accidentally gave out your home number on the live show? No, thankfully. So that's good. Salt Merchant, would anybody in the studio consider getting a Dark Eldar army? Same thing. Eventually, maybe. Cameron, Matt, how is the office going? Are you guys doing well with your money and setup? Yeah, things are going great. Fantastic, actually. I would say that we're at our best moment for MiniWarGaming ever in the 5.5 years we've been running. So thank you very much, everybody. If you're a Vault member or you contributed to the Indiegogo campaign or both, it's really making a difference. Shader Raygun, Matt, what would you like to see in the 6th edition Tyranid Codex? I'd like to see them kind of modify some of the less useful guys, like the lictors, to make them just a little more viable. They don't have to beef them up too much, just a little bit more, just to make them more fun. Because right now, like, the lictor's cool. I like the fluff of the lictor, but it's just kind of a useless thing. So that's what I'd like to see, things like that. Obviously, some Skyfire would be nice, and obviously some more flying monstrous creatures would be nice. But yeah, just something to handle the flyers. We finally can handle vehicles, and then they throw flyers in there, so that's too bad. Although Flying Hive Tyrants are pretty awesome, I have to say. Gloomed Ready, Matt, can you ask Dave if he's getting his donkey kicked in the bat rep he is doing right now? Hey, Dave, are you winning or losing? You.
I'd say winning.
No, Dave.
Yeah, I'm winning.
Dave's winning. Oh, okay. Dave is winning. Captain Goldteeth, who wins the Horde battle? Orcs, Nids, or Guardsmen blobs? Guardsmen are pretty good with their shooting and their blobs, but orcs, Nids probably over orcs. I don't know with Guardsmen though. Miso, have you ever heard of the board game Resistance and Resistance Avalon? I just watched Tabletop where they played Resistance, so I have. They are amazing and very simple, would make great video material. I agree. Scottish Tabletop Gaming, why did Corvus Belli not send you a William Wallace model? Why does no one like Scotland? No idea. Laura Tao, could you make a compilation of Dave getting pawned by Tao? Or by Owen? That would be funny. We'll see. Red Dragon, projected release date for the new Dark Potential models? No projected release date. We're putting that on hold as we get everything else in place. Just with all the changes, we have to be careful with our capital. So Dark Potential is effectively on hold for the next little while we get everything else in place. Not canceled by any stretch of the imagination. We're definitely going to do it. Just, you'll have to be patient and wait a little while. Groving Grove, are you going to be hiring any more content producers when the studio is finished? Not right when it's finished, but hopefully over the next few months we will be growing enough that we can afford to, yes. Pricey, will MiniWarGaming have to shut down when the serious renovations get going? No. The serious renovations are going right now. Cayenne007, how would we go about getting a Skype battle against you guys? We don't do Skype battles anymore. They're not that good. I'd really enjoy being able to play against you guys, but being in the West Coast of the United States, it's pretty hard to get to the MiniWarGaming store. I agree, but we tried the Skype battle reports. They just didn't work. They weren't that entertaining. They were kind of annoying to play. It took too much time. Just weren't worth it. Jetron, I've done a Deathwatch army. What codex would you or could you run the off mat? Not sure. Pat Rat, hey Matt, do you know where I can find someone to custom build me super heavies for 40k battle reports? No. Creed, so 2v2 40k Battle Brothers. Is that a question? Mart Boyo, who will do the first Infinity Bat Rep? I want to be Vault member in time for that. Is silver enough? I'll answer both those questions. I will most likely be the one learning it, because that seems to be the way it is. And I kind of spearhead that. As for being a Vault member, as long as you're a Bronze member, you can see anything that's in the Vault. Silver members get all the DVDs, like all the digital downloads of the DVDs. But Bronze members get to watch the DVDs just as streaming videos. And our first one definitely won't be in the Vault. Our second one will probably be in the Vault. Like we'll alternate. So that's the way we usually like to do it. But yeah, definitely join the Vault. When will we be doing it? I would say in a month, maybe. That'll give us time to paint. I can't say for sure, but I'm shooting for about a month from now. Matthew Colossus, Matt is the best Tyranid player on the net. Well, thank you. How, please, can Tyranids win a 1,000-point game versus Dark Eldar? I've never beaten Dark Eldar, but I've only played them a few times. The problem is they have their poison spam, which is tons of shots, and so that takes out monsters, and it also takes out lots of guys. If I were to play them again at 1,000 points, though, I would think I would focus on probably 1,000 points. A couple Turvagons with 3 psychic powers with Biomancy. And yes, I'm going for that cheese because Dark Eldar are tough for the Tyranids. At least that's what I found. And then supporting that with Venomthropes and lots of Hormigons. And the reason for that is because no matter what their shooting is like, if everybody has a 5+ save, it really brings it down a lot. So I think that's what I would do. It's hard though. Pygmalion, any plans for MiniWarGaming 210 Origins in Columbus, Ohio in June? Nope. Trading card game. Watching this makes me want to play any wargame, but there are no wargaming communities in my city, and nobody wants to play in all the independent stores far. What do I do? Well, when I got into it, there was nobody around here playing, and there was no stores playing. And so I just got my friends into it. It was a lot of work, though. And I'm glad that I have a business that's attracted players, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But that's what I did. So that's the best advice I can give you. But sometimes it's just hard. Depends where you are. If you can't find players, you're going to have a harder time. And so you just have to do the best you can. Excuse me. Denzel Tom. How does a ghostly green high elves army with bright green bases and based on the army of dead from Lord of the Rings? Cool, except for the bright green bases part. Sideburns M. Matt, are you planning on hiring anyone with a preferred race/chapter of Space Wolves like Dave has Chaos and Owen got Tau? I know there are loads more people than me out there that would love to see that. No plans. Maltriagan, Matt, what are your plans for the summer? What part of the summer? My plans in July, we're hosting Apocalypticon. August, we're going to Gen Con. That's right, we're going to be there. And October, we're going to Valhalla. If there are still tickets available for Valhalla and you can get there, go there in October. You'll see us there. It is awesome. Just awesome, awesome, awesome. Best vacation you'll ever have. Smitey, if they do get Dark Eldar, make sure they run it right. I will not see my favorite army put to shame. Okay. Maldir, Pyrovores too. Exactly, like Lictors, Pyrovores. You got these cool units in Tyranids, and they're just kind of underpowered. Even Carnifexes, they need a bit of a facelift. Not much, just a bit. The Draconic Lord, are you eventually going to do 15mm bat reps? You know, that's quite a possibility. P-Man001, have you ever considered playing Flames of War? Yes, we have considered it. The Bloody Gamers, do you think that Synapse need a buff? No, I don't think so. I think that part of the game works fine, or part of the army works fine. Renamete0666, I've always wanted to come visit your studio and play a game with you guys. What should I do to set one up, especially getting to be in one of your bat reps? Just go to miniwargaming.com/challenge, and all the details are right there. Fabian, they don't do Skype anymore. The tech is too crappy and it's painfully cumbersome. Thank you. King Rooks, I'm thinking of visiting you guys, but I think Google Maps is screwed up. You're not near the Star Rose Garden, are you? Yeah, we're like right across the street from it. Seriously. Ryan Wilmot, does anyone know what is next release in 6th edition 40k? I think it's Eldar. Pricey, who would you like to write the 6th edition codex for NIDS? Anybody. Zomnivore, any rumors on when the new Orc codex is getting done? No. Creed, hire Hiveguard Warrior with Wing Overpower. Hiveguard Warrior with Wing Overpower. Not sure what you mean by that. Maltriagan, also I'm going to buy some shirts from your Indigo fundraiser. I was just wondering if you guys' logo was on the back of the shirts. The back of the shirts is this. This is miniwargaming.com. Dragon the Dragon says, hi Matt, I'm thinking of starting up a Space Wolves army, and since you guys at MiniWarGaming really got me into 40k, I thought I'd ask you if you had any tips for me, essential units, tactics, etc. The best tip I can give you is to go onto some forums, like MiniWarGaming forums, Warseer, Daka, those ones in particular, and ask for tips, because you'll get better tips than from me. Crix Overlord 86, have you ever considered playing Twilight Imperium from Fantasy Flight Games? It's an epic space empire building game. We haven't, no. Dan Plant, Matt, what do you think of the new 6th edition codexes? I think they're cool. It's nice that they're coming out with so many, so that's nice. Maldir, hey Matt, me and my friends want to start do Apocalypse. Anything you can suggest me with the NIDS? Lots of them. Hammer T10, I was thinking of using Space Marine Sternguard veteran to be Deathwatch. Cool. Captain Slaughter, that's what you did there. Oh, you're responding to somebody else. Miso, don't you want to do a Hordes army instead of another War Machine army? It seems Legion would suit you. Yeah, maybe, but we had already 300 points of Crix, so that kind of was the reason. Trading card game, watching this makes me want... Oh, I already answered that. One dirty one, what's worst piece of terrain you've ever seen? I don't know. There's one where it's like just a pile. I don't know. Yeah. Gloomed already. Matt, will there be a warning email when one's vault membership is about to run out? It gives you an email when it renews. Doesn't see anyone know that's about to run out, though. The Lord of Tau, in my previous message, I asked for Dave getting owned by Owen, but just get Dave getting owned would be enough. Noted. Storkman, any idea what Infinity faction you will pick? Not yet. I still have to look over it. Altalmalia, hey Matt, I'm planning on starting Warhammer 40k. Been a long time fan, never actually built an army. Any tips or suggestions on how to start? Probably can't start with a lot of miniatures because of the prices here in Australia. Well, I would browse the Games Workshop website. I'd watch battle reports and kind of see which one just makes you most interested and get that one. After that, get a battle force or two. Research some tournament lists. Start with that. Yes, start with tournament lists just so you have an army that actually works, and then branch out from there. Shady Raygun, Shade Raygun. Matt, what is your favorite 40k fluff and least favorite piece of fluff? Fluff is story or lore material. I know what fluff is. I don't really like the 40k fluff that much, except for the Tyranids. So the Tyranids is my favorite, and everything else is my least favorite. Cameron, my uncle brought me into Warhammer. I am still starter in building the Blood Angels army. Any tips? Yes. Go to forums such as MiniWarGaming or War Series or Daka and ask there. PatRat12345 said, I'd like to see a 40k backstory, story-based campaign, but unlike your existing campaign-based rat reps, I'd like to hear the story, see a normal bat rep based on it, then continue the story in a pure narrative form, as opposed to telling a story during the bat rep. I agree. That's probably what I'm going to do in the future, because I didn't like the way that one turned out. Devin's Cough, X-Wing Wave 3 thoughts? Yep, I did that earlier, so you must have showed up after. So go back and watch the recording when it's posted, and you can see my thoughts there. I'm excited for them. Meldeer, hey Matt, me and my friends want to start doing Apocalypse. Oh, I already answered that. Pricey, any advice for making Savannah terrain? Nope. Dedretron, I just also got my friends playing Matt, but it's very hard to work with the rules. I agree. Thundercat Ho! Hey Matt, just want to say that I'm a big fan of the bat reps. I think you're the best bat rep people ever. Thank you. Keep it up. And if I may make a request, post more. Every day I check to see if YouTube has more bat reps. They are my drug. Well, thank you. We post our current turnover right now is 1 a day from Monday to Friday on YouTube, and then 1 a day in the Vault as well. So if you want twice as many battle reports, join the Vault. Just the bronze membership is enough to get them. Creed, would you do Game Day Example 40k Monday, Warhammer Tuesday, X-Wing Wednesday, Thursday, Dreadball, Friday, Infinity? Maybe eventually. Right now, we're just, like I said, we're just producing lots of content, and eventually we'll try to get it organized. Drogon the Dragon, do you guys have any plans to start doing Drop Zone Commander bat reps? No plans. It doesn't mean we won't do it, though. Project Birdman, hello, I have a Space Marine army. I have a Predator, Assault Terminators, Tactical Space Marines, Tactical Space Marines, Scout Tactical Space Marines, Assault Terminators. What should I get next, or should I start a new army? I would suggest that you go to the MiniWarGaming forums or Warseer or Daka and ask there. They'll be able to give you better advice than me. Pilkey CRC, by the sounds of it, NIDs have the same problem Tau had. Lots of units that aren't worth taking. Granted, Tau are really bad for that. Yeah, something like that. Tyranids are actually still quite competitive, though. There's only some units that aren't really useful. Cameron, going to sub the Vault today. Awesome. That is actually awesome. The Houndmaster, I know you've got a ton of other games to play, but will we be seeing any fantasy bat reps soon? Yeah, for sure. Pat Rat, so you want Matt Ward to write your new codex, Matt? Sure. I don't dislike him as much as everybody else does. Hallowski, Matt, what do you prefer, pre-heresy or post-heresy? I guess post-heresy, but I haven't really done any pre-heresy. Pricey, in my LWGS, we call the plural of Carnifex as Carnifexi, LOL. This is pretty funny. Ryan Wilmot, whose monstrous creatures are better, demons or Tyranids? Well, they both kind of have their strengths. Demons have a lot of versatility in what they can do, but when you come down to it, Hive Tyrants and Turvagons with Biomancy are just so awesome. I know that the demons can get Biomancy too, but they're also restricted to one of their own powers, which limits them. So demons are usually more cost-effective. Right? They're points-wise. So it's a toss-up. They each have their own strengths and weaknesses. The Bloody Gamers, is it just poison you hate from the Dark Eldar, or do you also hate that Archon war gear that gives him or her a 2+ invulnerable save? That's fine. I don't mind the 2+ invulnerable. It's the poison, it's the spamming of like lance weapons or spamming of the venoms where you just have tons and tons of vehicles to take out, so it's really hard to. It's just they have that kind of stuff that they can do. Oh, it's 4 o'clock, so I'll just answer a couple more questions randomly. Scrolling. King Rooks is the last question. You said you were interested in continuing your local club if possible. Does that mean you will still do Apocalypticon? Apocalypticon is definitely still going on. Those are really fun to watch, even though I don't play Games Workshop games. Yes. Yes. Pat Rat says, Matt, when I signed up for the Vault membership, after my trial, it charged me for the entire year. I thought it was a monthly payment. You choose. When you signed up for your 7-day trial, there was a choice you had. A yearly or monthly. The yearly saves you like 4 months worth, so it's a really good deal. But if you want to pay monthly, you got to choose monthly. So that's what happened there. We do have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you want to refund it and then start a new one, you can always do that. I'm going to stop there. Thank you for all your questions. It's now 4 o'clock. I've got to get my other work done and then get going home because I'm having fajitas for dinner tonight. I'm pretty excited about that. I really am. I love fajitas. They're pretty good. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. I know that it's still a little convoluted. I am going to be making every effort to turn this into something a lot more professional, a lot more polished once our new studio is done. We got all the right equipment and more planning behind it. So yeah, it's still the randomness and fun because I know you guys like that too. But thank you very much for your support. Thank you for all that you do, and happy wargaming.